Hey, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. IDS-410 Problem Solvers. This is Sunday, July 12th. It's about 9:15 a.m. here. Thought I'd get a start on this, content creating. End of Module 2 tonight. We're getting into Module 3. So, got like a warm glow from my lap. That's a weird day. I was trying to minimize the ink all over my hands and my desk, but I guess a lot of it came off. See, I'm a side note, I am a fountain pen enthusiast. I'm down to 6. I used to have like 20. I got rid of them. Yesterday I had a incident with my favorite one from Italy, Leonardo, and it's the most expensive one I have. Not to brag, because it's a pain in the butt, because I couldn't get ink in it, and then I got ink all over my desk. So finally it worked out. Anyways, that's for my other channel, my journals and things. So, how y'all doing? Hey, it's we're moving right along. Let me just jump in some of my notes I have. You guys handle the curriculum, so we won't be going over that. I mean, briefly maybe, but okay. So. I guess if there's a mantra for this class, it's solve. Parentheses, what? Mitigate. Solve. So, when you're writing papers, discussion boards, things like that, proposing what you're going to do in your proposal, you're proposing to solve something. You're not proposing to research it. You're not proposing to investigate, to look at. You're not proposing self-enlightenment. You're proposing to solve in a very broad sense, right? That's the key. That's the mantra. That distinguishes us from, it distinguishes this course from a self-enlightenment course. It distinguishes us from a sitting back and telling somebody else what to do type of thing. What are we going to do? What's the action? I just got my second bullet journal delivered. I just fell in love with the turquoise. My old one here is kind of getting wiped out. But what this does is, the theory behind it is, action meeting. There's a Venn diagram in there. Action meets the what, the how, I don't know. So it's thinking about action. This isn't just about reflecting. I got my travel journal for when I actually am out there doing something. But the bullet journal, Bujo for short, if you're not familiar with that, most people aren't, is a system kind of putting your thoughts into actions, I guess. So I just like doing it. And I got crappy handwriting. I'm a left-hander. My penmanship is horrid. Okay, so this is a 400 level class. I'm going to balance two things. One is 400 level class is a senior level class. It requires more academic rigor. However, on the other side, I don't want you to overthink it, okay? Because that's what we tend to get into, and avoid that little nuance, especially in solve or investigate, look at, self-enlightenment. Solve, solve, solve. Mitigate, mitigate, okay? But it's a 400 level class. It's going to require a little more academic rigor, and I think I want to provide then mechanisms, ideas, and information that makes it more efficient for you, okay? Because SNHU is a little different, right? You're more non-traditional. How many of you are right out of high school, 19 years old, you're a 22-year-old a senior? No, right? I mean, I don't know if I've had one yet. Maybe I had somebody, I don't know. But most of us are already in our careers, we're already working, we have knowledge. So we don't want to fall too far over onto the, hey, I'm just paying for a degree, give me the damn degree, let me get out of here, okay? And fall between that and, I'm going to be a full-time student. I mean, some might be, I don't know, I'm not judging either way, except to say that it's really not cool to be buying a degree just to, because you know it all already. Nobody's thinking like that, I know it. But, okay, so don't overthink it, all right? Now, sources. I'm trying to leave feedback for everybody. Even if you get 100%, look at your feedback. I'm typically leaving you notes. I like to get students to step up their game, okay? So when it comes to sources, I know Southern New Hampshire is not that, the instructors are not that proactive in teaching students, informing students, instructing students on, let's say, APA style formatting, or on using sources that are academic sources. And what are those? Well, if we take a look generally, .org, no. .com, no. .gov, no. Those are not good academic sources. Now, mixed in with academic sources, you can get away with a couple of those. But let's take a look. .org means it's an organization. What does that organization have? Has bias towards what it's trying to accomplish, okay? There's nothing inherently wrong with bias, but if it's just looking to get an echo chamber or something like that, not too cool. .com, what does com stand for? Commercial. What is commercial? About revenue. What is it has to do with bias again, okay? .gov, what's .gov? Similarly, it is good for statistics, so you can trust the source. It's good for like NIH or anything that supports science in terms of good data. So what do we look for? Well, I'll tell you, again, we go into the Shapiro Library in Southern New Hampshire and we look for our search, and then we filter it for peer-reviewed and full text online. When you do that, you've upped your game to feature peer-reviewed research data support for your thesis or challenge your thesis. That's what researchers do, okay? All right. Another note on using SNHU for a source. Please don't. Unless you're going to use, like, say, the Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie video that some did on telling a story, but you used it in conjunction with 5 other sources. Fine, I appreciate that TED Talk then, okay? But if you're using that 2 sources, one's .gov, one's TED Talk, no, those aren't academic, those do nothing, okay? I mean, it's not as bad as a student I had at Arizona State who used their grandmother as a source, literally reference. She wasn't like an academic, it was an anecdotal story. Fine, but again, we're not here to tell our story. This is not the place for it, okay? As much as I would like to read a memoir, I would like to write a memoir. This is not memoir class, all right? In a high-level research, just so you know where we're at, high-level research, forget about pronouns. There's no I, there's no me, there's no my, there's no us, there's no we. In research papers, typically, they avoid using especially first person. No. They might use third person language. The current researcher, the research team, whatever it is, but you're not going to read about that. I go back to that anecdote about you in high school or middle school, and you got a history textbook and we're going to study the Civil War. You don't turn to that chapter in your textbook and it starts off with, I always wanted to write about the Civil War because the Civil War is important to me and my family. We live near a Civil War battlefield, and the Civil War, you don't read anything. You don't even know you're reading something that somebody writes because it's so detached, right? So think about it that way. I'm not grading that way. I'm just trying to up your game, push the envelope a little bit, okay? Also, nothing that ends in pedia, okay? No Investopedia, no Wikipedia, no any pedia. Pedias are just compilation of information at best, which means that you could go down maybe and look at their references and find out where the actual data is, but no pedias. Try not to use SNHU. Get out there, all right? Get out there and look on the library, all right? Journals, okay? Things that are peer-reviewed. That means that somebody wrote a research paper, did some research, submitted to this particular journal, which is a group of similar scientists and researchers in that field, whether it's the sciences, the arts, whatever, humanities, whatever. And then that they have a panel of peers that will review that for its veracity, for the data, and things like that. Can the research be duplicated? a discovery or something. It depends what it is, of course. That's peer reviewed. And when they okay it, it gets published. That's why you hear sometimes, hey, I got published. It doesn't mean like I'm an author and my short story got published, although I wish mine does. It means that the peers in that field said, you got this. And it's really a great thing for academics and researchers, right? So you guys are off to a good start. Now, if you think I'm being harsh, I apologize. I mean, I'm not, but everybody reads everything differently, and I get it completely. I'm not trying to be harsh. I always leave room for discussion. Like I've had students when I've had to go a little harsh on the score, but said, this is not final score. If you call me or we can exchange some emails about this, and we've done that, boom, I rescore it 100%. They don't have to change the paper. We just have to be meeting our minds here that I feel that they're going in the right direction, okay? Because once you're on your right direction, that's why I can start easing off. But it's so important for me not to let you paint yourself into a corner by trying to solve something in the world or in the state or everybody, and because you can't. Again, you can't. I can help you take it down to something that you can do if you'd like, all right? In the meantime, let's see, Module 3, just so we look at it, you're gonna have a discussion board. If you're smart, which I know you are, you're gonna put your discussion board main post in the 3 bolded subheadings. Social issue, you're gonna describe your social issue, social change, and then benefit. That makes it so clear. It's an organized discussion board, all right? For your paper, you want to, the short paper for Module 3, that is, did I say Module 2 discussions? Okay. You're gonna follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 criteria from the rubric. Element, importance, impact, opportunity for social change, and social changes. That, if you can break it down to those 5 subheadings, okay, double line space, Times New Roman, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you put in your reference list needs to be cited in text. Whatever is cited in text needs to be in your reference list. If you want to look, Southern New Hampshire has APA formatting guide. Purdue OWL is another one I used to use all the time. It's so easy to do. Why not do it right? Don't guess. Reference lists are in hanging paragraphs, not regular paragraphs, okay? Hanging paragraph has the top line out, the other subsequent lines are tucked in. Google it, it's so easy in Word, highlight, right click, boom. Paragraph, style, hanging, it's done, okay? Make sure you're submitting Word docs. There's a lot of people submitting PDFs. I don't score PDFs. The submission should be 2 to 3 page Microsoft Word document, 12-point Times New Roman, double line space. No color is needed, no blue things, no color, no SNHU logos, even no cover pages, okay? Some people are really minimalist and they just, boom, write it out. I gotta look, say, wait a minute, whose is this again? Some people are like, here's a cover, here's a color, here's my thesis, here's my, no, let's just, it's okay, it's okay. I'm looking at content and how it's presented, all right? So, okay, and other than that, let's see. We got the sources. I know we're on 13, going on 14 minutes. I'm gonna stop this in a minute. Just want to double check. Please get a hold of me if I can be of assistance in any way, shape, or form. Guys are doing great. Like I said, if you're not doing so great, think about why, think about communicating, and let's do it, because you may be on like autopilot at SNHU and haven't had to interact with any instructors, but we're here. I'm here, all right? So, 14 minutes and 15 seconds. Peace.